So in part two, we're going to go over pre-development funding. And pre-development funding is just as it says, is before you start your construction, and it's kind of leading your idea to reality. So these funds, and they're going to want to see equity for these funds as well, but they're there to cover your plan, your permits, construction drawings, your testing, environmental engineering that can get from the idea stage to actually construction start. Always ask for double. I know that's not feasible sometimes, but you're going to need more money than you think. You're going to have your budget, and then things are always going to come up. And that could be extra fees, consultant charges, more tests that you need to run, but it's always going to happen. For multifamily deals, I mean, you should plan for at least a half a million in pre-development funds. And right now, especially if it's a light tech or it's a complex deal, using some type of tax credit structure, I mean, you can get all the way up to millions of dollars just to get through pre-development. So one thing that I have learned, this is in the last year, is I got a pre-development loan, and then we found out we needed more funds. So then we went to another source to get additional funds. And the second source said, why didn't you go back to the first source? In my mind, it was they've already lent, so find someone else. But in the lender's mind, it's you've already gone through underwriting with them. They already know your deal. So if they have additional capital, they would like to put in additional capital, maintain their first position as the lender in the deal, and then also just increase their stake in the project. So you always, if you do have a loan and you do need more money, the first thing you should do is go back to that original lender rather than starting with someone new. These loans do take a while, and so expect between 60, 90, 120 days for approval. One, I believe that they want to fill you out. They want to see if you're committed to the deal. They want to see if other money comes into the deal. They want to see where the other sources or final sources to take them out is. And so it just takes them a while to get uh, comfortable with the deal. They're all going to have different types of requirements. And so, similar to a closing, they're going to have a checklist to go through. They're going to have a lot of different items, but as long as you can follow the steps, you can give them everything that they need. In addition to having a good project, then you should be well on your way. Get proposals from every contractor during those 60 to 90 days for approval. So you want to keep your numbers grounded. You want to make sure that you're not going over budget. And so you're going to have to get proposals. And then make sure he's like, okay, how do I even find these pre-development lenders, Q? So you should be going to every real estate networking event in your city that you can, and then find ones in other city that are virtual, or travel down to your nearest big city and attend those events. That's going to be your best way. Also, if you have the time and the money, go to national conventions like NABHOod, AHF Live, or your state housing conference. It shows people that you're still in the game, and it's more about the panels and the sessions, and it's more about just the networking, meeting people, see who's there. And once you see them a couple times, have a couple conversations, then it can lead to more business in the future. Also, use that time to set up meetings. Since people are already in one spot, find 15, 20, 30 minutes to someone who out of town who's there to say, let me take you out for coffee. Let me take you out for lunch. And then you have that time with them so that they can get to know you. You can start to build some rapport and relationships with people who are lending in that space. Right now, you have organizations like LISC, NEF, Enterprise, Legacy Redevelopment Corporation, Wisconsin Preservation Fund, a National Housing Trust, who've all extended funds for pre-development loans. But remember, with these groups, they want to know how they are getting paid back. That's the number one thing in a pre-development loan is who is the construction lender that's coming to pay us back our money plus interest so that we get our money back and then we can re-lend to some other emerging developer. And so you have to show them that you have a plan, a set plan. If you can get like a term sheet from a construction lender, that's even better. But they have to know that you have some plan to pay them their money back. So when you're going to approach them, make sure you have that set up. Even if it's not finalized, you at least say, okay, I'm gonna go get a HUD loan that's gonna then take you out, pay your money back, and then from there you be made whole. During these time, it may be a year, they're gonna want interest payments. And so these can add up. So make sure you're budgeting money for interest payments in addition to. So if you have a $500,000 loan, this could be $4 or $5,000, 6,000 a month. Seven got some that's 9,000 a month per month that you have to pay in interest that's not going to principal for these loans. And then again, if they're not paid back, you might have to work out with a lender. So you may be paying 10,000 here, 9,000 here, 8,000 here. So pre-development loans do help, but make sure you're budgeting for the repayment as well. So you have that money set aside that you're not spending uh, because they want their payments as well. If you have more questions about pre-development loans, please let me know. But it's pretty straightforward. It's going to pay for a lot of those upfront costs that'll get you from the deal start to the construction start.